So for anyone not aware, Blue Beetle is an upcoming DC film, and there's literally no hype around it. Like, there are people who have stated that they are interested in watching the film, but the box office projections for this film seems like it's gonna do lower than Shazam 2. And for those not aware, Shazam 2 was a huge disaster at the box office. So how is this movie gonna survive? Here are my top 5 reasons as to why I think there's literally no hype surrounding Blue Beetle. Number 1. People are just not that aware of Blue Beetle. If you think about DC, you don't usually think about Blue Beetle. Like, I was introduced to Blue Beetle through the animated shows that came out. Like the animated Batman show, the animated Justice League show, the animated Young Justice show. These were the shows that introduced me to Blue Beetle in the first place. And there has been no live action film that had Blue Beetle so far, so he's kind of new into the live action movies, and he's not really that popular of a character. Whenever you think about DC, you think about Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, even Green Lantern at times, but you don't usually think of Blue Beetle. So he's not really a very popular character in the DC universe compared to his other counterparts in the same universe. That's one reason as to why I think Blue Beetle is not really receiving a lot of hype. Number 2. At this point, it's cliche. Like, this storyline where there's this teenager who has received these powers, and he has to defeat these bad guys and yada yada yada. These things, there's this teenager who gets this power, and now he has to save people from the bad guys, the villains, right? I mean, look at Spider-Man. Spider-Man is a teenager who got his power and has to beat these bad guys. Then there's Shazam, who same thing really. Like, I think this storyline with teenager becoming a superhero has been reused too much for people to go into the film, because they've seen it before already. So the audience would want something new from the superhero genre. Number 3. It's very predictable. Like, remember the last point I said was very cliche? Yeah, now I'm gonna say it's very predictable. I think I can just predict what it's gonna happen, like how the story is gonna go just by watching the trailer, even without going into the movie. Because again, it's cliched. It's been repeated a few times before, this same storyline. So I think it's not gonna attract a lot of audience. Number 4. I feel that Warner Brothers isn't marketing this movie enough. Is it just me, or is this what everybody else? I don't know what you guys think, but I feel like Warner Brothers isn't just not doing enough marketing for this film, honestly. Because look at their other films like Barbie. Barbie was a marketing genius by Warner Brothers. But as for this film, I just go to a movie theater and see how many posters of Blue Beetle you see compared to other films. And I know Blue Beetle hasn't come out yet, and he's coming out soon, but even before Barbie was gonna come out, there was a lot of marketing and a lot of hype surrounding the film. So Blue Beetle is just not getting enough hype from Warner Brothers. I feel like even Zack Snyder is doing more marketing for this film than Warner Brothers is doing, and that's insane. Number 5, the strike. So for those not aware, there's a strike going on in Hollywood right now by writers and actors, and I think this is gonna affect Blue Beetle because of this strike. Movie stars cannot promote their films anymore, or they are limited in promoting their films. So that's definitely going to affect this film, which is coming up soon. Number 6, they're trying to be too much like the MCU. I know people are going to, what are you talking about? And I know you guys are thinking that way, but think about it. The James Gunn universe is coming up, and I think this is somehow like part of a universe as well, this film. So I think they're trying to be too much like the MCU, because the MCU was a huge success, and that's where DC is going on. DC has to understand that they are not the MCU. They cannot be like the MCU. The MCU is different, so DC excels in individual stories. They don't need, alright, they don't require shared universe. The Dark Knight trilogy, the Batman movie with Robert Pattinson, so and so forth. DC really needs to understand that. That's where they excel at. And these are my top 5 reasons as to why I think Blue Beetle is receiving no hype at all. If you like this video, click the like button. If you want to see more, subscribe to my channel. Other than that, thanks for watching. You guys are always the best.